Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about what we use for preschool, and I use that word very lightly. I am the mom of 8 kids. This is the 8th time I've done some type of preschool with my kids. But I want you to understand, as a homeschooler, it is not required, but it is a question I hear a lot. People saying, what should I use? First, read to your children. I read a ton. I still read a lot to my kids, but not as much as I used to, just because our days are very, very busy with 8 kids. But with my oldest, I would read so much. So if you only have a couple of kids at home right now, please just read to them as much as possible. That will help them so much with their learning. And it helps them learn to sit still. It helps them look at pictures and have conversations. It helps them with word development. The more words they hear, the more words that they start to be able to read and figure out on their own. My oldest, I always like to say she kind of taught herself to read. And I think a lot of that is because I read so much to her. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the books that I am currently using. And a lot of these I just got off Amazon. A couple are not, and I'll tell you where I got them from. So one series I like is this one. There are 4 of them. And I cannot remember do they tell me in here what the others are called? About 3, Bigger Steps, Color, Count, and Cut, Doing My Best. I think these all together are maybe like $10. These are from Rod & Staff Publishers, or they're Study Time Publishers. Okay, Study Time Publishers. These are Mennonite. They're with the Rod & Staff. You can order them from Milestone Ministries online. You can find these on Rainbow Resource, but they're a little tricky to find a link to. So I will try to remember to find the link. You have to Google them and then find them. You can't search on the Rainbow Resource website. So they're a little tricky to find that way, but they're super cheap and easy. If you have a homeschool convention, sometimes Rod & Staff will have, ours has a Rod & Staff publisher at the homeschool convention, and you can buy them there. So let me show you the inside. They have, I'm trying to find a page my daughter has not done. They have just really simple black and white pictures, and it just like you're just practicing drawing lines, matching. Here it's writing numbers, but notice it's all tracing. There's no writing on your own. Finding the picture that matches. There's some cute ones. This one, I thought this was kind of funny. It's what would you need to build a birdhouse? Well, some of these things, like an egg beater, my kid doesn't know what an egg beater is. But I just help them. We're just working on drawing lines. So some of them are funny that way. Sometimes we colored. So you can see we have quite the fun coloring. But this is a good way to start getting them to listen to instructions. Color the circles blue. Color the triangles red. Color these ones purple. And so it's just learning to listen to mom tell me what to do. And so they start to kind of get used to mom telling them what to do. My goal is that they start getting used to sitting down. We talk about our colors. These are tracing. So there's a set. The D is the last one. On this, see, they start to write letters independently. C is a cut and paste one. We did it already. But you cut these boxes out and you paste them in here. So there's a handful of cut and paste activities. You cut these out, paste them here. That you would do. And some of them, there's a couple, like I said, there's a couple that are Mennonite based and the kid has no idea. We just talk about it. What goes together. So kids can go through these really quickly if you let them, but you can also slow them down and be like, we're just going to do 3 pages today. And that's okay. You can choose how to run your homeschool. You can choose whether if you have a day and you're like, let's do it all, or if you're like, hey, you know what? You got to listen and that's enough for today. It's okay to teach your kids to listen really well too. Okay, some other things that I have. Oh, these. This was a 3-pack. There's colors, shapes, numbers, and there was an alphabet one too. These are from Melissa and Doug. They're large, which is a little much, but they have the whole numbers across the top, so we could go through and talk about the numbers every day. It has a little story with the numbers. It has where you can have them color. Again, you can practice doing certain colors, or you can let them color however you want. She didn't like where the sun was, so she drew her own sun. That's what that is her own sun. But then it comes with this horse here is a sticker. So in the back of the book, I think they're all gone now, there was like a sheet of stickers. And so she got to, that's good fine motor skill to pull the stickers off. And they're ones they can typically pull off by themselves. You know, they're not little tiny. So like, here are the cats. And they pulled off, she pulled off, put the cats on, and we colored around it. It does have where she can write numbers down here. We didn't worry about that because we're using this pretty young. You could also use this with an older kid, maybe a kindergartner that wanted to have a fun book. Obviously, you'd probably expect a little better coloring. Let's kind of see. There was one number. Oh, she wrote her 18s. We were like, how did you know how to write 18? So, you know, sometimes kids shock you because they know how to do something. So, this was a set of 3 from Melissa and Doug. And again, fairly inexpensive, a little more because it has the stickers. But this was one she's really enjoyed doing. She really, really liked the stickers. So, because of that, I ordered, I thought I had a third one. Maybe not. I ordered, this one is and I've done this a couple times with kids. I have done this Rod and Staff series 8 times. There's a page in one of these where you draw a cookie for every one of your siblings. And it's funny because now we draw 7 cookies. And when we started, we drew like 3 cookies or 2 cookies. So super fun to have those memories of doing it all those times. This one I've done a couple of times with kids. This is just an Amazon purchase. And it comes with sticker sheets. That's why I got it. And it has pictures, and you simply, some of these are stickers and some of them are on here. So let me show you a page that we haven't done. That'd probably be easier. So see, you can put the stickers on the pages. The words, obviously, I go through and say the words. They say the words with me. And actually, she was doing a good job matching the words. On the ones where there's counting, let me see if there's a counting one we haven't finished. Yeah. So on the counting ones, we'll go through and count. Maybe not all the pictures, but we'll go through and count some of the pictures. And there's little star stickers that you get to put on top as you finish each page. So the stickers are here in the back of the book. And I tear out the sticker pages so that she can more easily get to the stickers that she needs without flipping back and forth. Okay, so that's a fun one. And again, this is one that if I let her, she'd probably sit and do the whole book at once. So we don't. We do 2 pages. Mommy said 2 pages. And she'll tell me, Mommy said 2 pages. So, I mean, if you want to sit and do the whole book, go right ahead. But that's not how we do it. This is our ABC sticker book, and it is similar. So it has the letter, and it has things that start with the letter, and you just put the pictures, and we talk about them. Nothing super complicated. And then it has some coloring pages in the back. So, just a little introduction, just building some little pegs to hang things on. Another one I just got was the Scissor Skills. I think this is the first time I bought this book. But it is fun. It has, so the next one we get to cut out the garden shape, the garden vegetables, and then glue them into our garden. So it's just some basic cutting practice. We get to color and cut out a barn. We're working on trying to color in those lines. And by working on, I mean, hey, you want to try to color in the lines? No. Okay. Like, I'm not pushing it. So, like, here's a pig you could cut out. Oh, it gets a little harder. You're going to make a little lamb. So, build your own little scarecrow. Super simple little cut and paste book. Nothing complicated to it. The other set of books, okay, so I do like, there's another set from Christian Liberty Press, and I like them. It is a nice thick book. I don't have it with me because they're using it in our co-op this year for the preschool class. But what I like about it is the pictures, the pages. Number one, it has a lot of pages for like $20. The pages, though, are like outlined. So they have like a little bit of color. So like these are all black and white. They have just a little bit of color, so it helps them try to color some stuff. It could be a little advanced as far as it wants you to like start pairing letters and sounds. But I just use that as like we're building that peg, and I just tell them like, hey, let's draw the P to puppy. And so that they start to put the idea together. I don't push it as like they should be able to do it. And they're using it in our co-op this year. But I like it because it has a lot of nice coloring, but also good at following directions. Can you put a circle around the bear? Can you draw a line to the elephant? That kind of thing. This other set, hold on, I put it too far away, is also by, this one's actually by Rod and Staff Publishers. You can buy this from milestoneministries.com, but you also can find it. I found it on Rainbow Resource when I was looking, but I had to Google it to find it. I couldn't just search on Rainbow Resource. But this one has, you can see it has 6 books. The B book is simply a coloring book. Okay? Well, this is very colorful. It is simply a Bible coloring book. We don't use this because I don't do a separate Bible time with my preschoolers. They just sit on whatever I'm doing with older kids. So this one has 6 books, and actually there's another series after it too. So if you have a kid that really likes workbooks, because this series is like 20 bucks. So there's another one after it. I like the one after it too. They're like, this is ABC, this goes through F, and then there's G through, I think that might be up to M or something now. I like them, but they require a lot more me talking with the kid. So like sometimes I want to be able to work with my preschooler, and sometimes I have my first grader sitting with us and he's doing something and I'm working with her. The next setup requires a lot more attention from me, like one-on-one, which is fine. It's not always what I'm wanting. Okay, so these are all black and white still. And they just start very, very simply, like here are your school supplies. And then it goes through colors and which pictures are alike. So the A book is the easiest. Drawing dot to dot. C is counting. Oh, this is a fun one. You cut out the numbers and you glue them with the animals that have the right counting. How many dots are in each box? So just some basic counting and writing some numbers. If my kid has trouble writing the numbers, I write it and they trace it. So this one, because there's a fair amount of writing. Oh, here's the cookie plate. I was wondering, I couldn't remember where it is. I've done this one 7 times, so I will have to do that one. Okay, somebody's home. That's why the dog's barking. They get slightly harder as you go up in letters. So they start to write their name again. I just write the name and let them trace it. This one, they're starting to listen for sounds. I really overemphasize and help them draw if necessary. We're not testing, we're just introducing concepts. So again, this one kind of starts to combine it. So it has numbers. Let me flip through real quick. Oh, big and little. This one's fun. They cut the things out, and if it's big like an elephant or little like a bumblebee, you glue it in the right spot. Those are super fun for the kids. My kids really like cutting and gluing. Working on tracing letters and writing letters. Which doesn't belong. Just lots of little things like that. Let's see what's in this one. Again, more cutting. Where does it belong? Is it a tool or sewing item? My kids are like, what are these sewing items, Mom? Connecting. Oh, this one. These are kind of fun. This requires them to listen. So I definitely feel like this series is better for 4 to 5-year-olds, not the 3-year-olds. Like the 3-year-olds are better with these other little books I showed you first. These are really better for as they get a little older because they're learning to listen. And so it says, put this to the left of the ironing board. Put this right above the bow. Put this below the bow. So they're really starting to learn to listen for what you're telling them. So those are some of the resources I really like. I do plan on getting the Good and the Beautiful preschool, I think they have a preschool and a pre-K and maybe a kindergarten prep. I got to look and see. I've used one of them with my other kid. I plan on using some of those. I think this is going to get used in our co-op next year for our preschool class, which my daughter will be in. I also like, and I'm looking at Memoria Press, has some number and alphabet books that look pretty good that are just real basic practice of those things. Because I think my current preschooler is going to like to do work, and that helps keep her occupied while I'm doing work with other kids. So those are all good things. I am going to look at the Good and the Beautiful preschool. I may do some of it. We also do a lot of, so her schedule of her day, just to kind of give you an idea, she does, well, often she starts with me. Either we start reading or I start school with her. And then my first grader will sit with us. He does Explode the Code. I do think I'm going to get her the Get Ready for the Code books. There's 3 of those. I might get her those to start working on some sounds and hearing the sounds, because I think she might be ready for them at some point next year. There's a big difference. Like, I'm talking about buying books now that she won't use for over a year. So there's a big age gap there. And maturity gap, really, where she'll be in a year. So her day starts with reading with me a lot of times. I'm just giving you a sample. Our days vary a lot, but let's say reading with me for a while, doing some workbook pages with me, and then she does play in her room time, which we set a timer for half an hour for play in her room time. Then she does table time, and I'm going to show you some of the things we use for table time. I'm just going to give you a little glimpse of some of our table time activities that we'll set her up with. And then so after that, then she'll have playing the living room time, which usually will bring up some kind of set of toys. Like, we'll bring up the food toys or the Magna-Tiles, or the Duplos are always in the living room. So we'll bring usually in some kind of toy. By that point, we're getting close. Group time is at 11 for us. So by that point, we're starting to get close to group time. So at that point, if she is antsy and not, sometimes she'll just come sit while the other kids are doing school and draw on a dry erase board. Sometimes she'll be super great. Sometimes she'll be a little difficult. If she's starting to get a little difficult, we will sometimes have one kid play with her. Sometimes, if it's nice, maybe I'll have one of the older kids, middle-aged kids, take her outside to play for a little while. And then by then, if we can get to group time, which is at 11, she'll sit while we do group time. And then I usually let her watch a cartoon while I make lunch. And then we have lunch. And then it's kind of free for all while people are chores and stuff. And then it's nap time. So I want to flip you, though, and show you some of the things that we use for table time, because we have some things that I really like. And so table time, we do half an hour, and if she needs to stay at the table, I let her pick 2 things from our cabinet. Now, I have some other things downstairs. Melissa and Doug make some good activities for this. I will try to put some links in the description box of some of the different things we've bought. And some of this is things we've just had or we found or I've used for other kids, but I found that she really likes playing with. And so this helps keep her occupied. So let's move down a little. So these are called widgets. My friend brought these over, and I probably need to see if she wants them back. But her kids are all older, so I'm guessing no. And they build up. My kids find these so much fun. And oftentimes when she's doing table time, one of my other kids will end up joining. So that one didn't. So they kind of stack into each other, and you can build all kinds of shapes. It does come with cards, let's see, that show you different things you can build. Wedgets. They're not widgets. They're wedgets. So it'll show you different pictures of things you can build. So those are in a box. Then I have a scale and bears. So you can put the bears on the scale and weigh them out, and how many bears till I can make it even, that kind of thing. Okay, I have this wooden geoboard. She is way too young for this, and I need to hide it because it keeps coming out, and I don't want it out because the rubber bands are getting lost. That is not one for her. This one is fun. These are called brain flakes. And so they are little tiny. You will notice that they're sorted by color, because that's what she did last time she played with these, is she sorted them by color. They build together. You can put, that one did not want to participate. So you can build all kinds of cool things with these. I really like these. And these are something that any of my kids could play with. So they'll end up out with some of the other kids playing with them too sometimes. So, but the nice big tub, like, all of them can play. So but good fine motor skills to have to be putting those together. These are fun. She got these for her birthday. They are bluey, and they have sticks, and they have bluey characters, and you build little things. We have lacing bears, and we have lacing cards. So I'm cold today. Lacing bears, lacing cards. Those are not ones she chooses often, but they're there. These are Melissa and Doug. I think both of these. So these are, let me just show you. So these are, they have big blocks that you can put on strings. And they have words, and inside these little containers. I have had this for a long time. I don't know what made me ever think of it, but the letters can go inside the Kool-Aid containers. So we do that. And so these, you fill in the letters and build the words. Little puzzly for her. I have built these up over time. So if you have just one preschooler, I literally did this with my 19-year-old. So if you only have one preschooler and you're like, oh man, I gotta go buy all this stuff. No, you don't. Pick 3 or 4 things, or pick something up for her birthday, or see what you can find at a consignment store, or make your own, or whatever. It really, these are not necessary things, but sometimes it's fun to see what other people use. Okay, this one is super fun. It's kind of like, do you remember the game Concentration? Was it called that? Where you push it down, you turn it on, you push it down, you have to fill in. Oh, do you hear it? And you have to fill in all the shapes before it pops. That's what this is, but with letters. So she has to put all the letters in the right spot. So that is a fun one. And then one more I have up here. And like I said, I have some more stuff downstairs, but for today, this is good. This is a sorting pie. And you had to see the back of my head, didn't you? So it opens up. It has different fruits and veggies. And then it has, let's see if I don't know. I'm going to make a mess. Hold on. In the bottom are the different cards of how to sort them. So you can sort them by fruit or veggie. You can sort them just by color. You can sort them without the colors of the fruit or veggie. You can sort them with a certain amount in each one. And then it also has with it little tweezers to help you pick and move the stuff up. So really good fine motor skills. This is by Learning Resource. They have so many neat things. So if you have an unlimited budget, that's a great place to look for these. Again, do not feel like you need to go buy a whole bunch of stuff. This is just to give you ideas because you might love one thing and something else isn't so great. So just find some things that you like. But that's kind of how we run our preschoolers, toddlers / into preschoolers day. We keep her busy and moving. Other people sometimes take turns with her, but if you don't have other kids, then you have more time to take turns with them. But it's also good for them to learn to play on their own some. So setting the timer really helps with that because they know it's not going to be forever. Like, okay, as soon as the timer goes off, she'll even tell me, Mommy, set my timer. So, and just different places around the house. Even if you don't have a big house, we've had plenty of times where we did not have a lot of space, but I would just put them in a different spot with a different set of toys, and it's just more exciting. And you pull out those toys you haven't seen in a while, it becomes a little more exciting, and that helps keep them occupied and having fun and being productive and not necessarily crawling under your feet. Although we have those days too. So I hope that gives you some ideas. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any favorite preschool workbooks or things that you do with your preschooler. There's many great curriculums that'll have songs and activities and crafts and all that stuff. And if that's your thing and you have time and energy for that, go for it. If you don't, it's okay too. If mostly they spend their day just wandering and playing and that's your kid, I've had one of those. That was amazing. A lot of my other kids have been really busy and kind of, I don't want to use the word needy. They've really been needing my attention and time. And so this was a way, I've come up with some ways to help them have some attention and time and also some time to play on their own. They like the books because their siblings are doing it. So hope that gives you some ideas. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below. Thanks for joining us today. Please leave a comment if you have something else you'd like me to talk about or you have any questions. Please hit the like button and subscribe to see more videos about what we do.